Hey guys, it's Woody Mark here, coming with episode 6 of Squad Cup Run Rotation. And if you don't know what this series is, it's the series where I try to win the Championship Shield with a league, and then I'll move on to the next league. So this is currently the second series, and here I come up against a good 4-1-2-1-2 side, and this is currently the second round of the cup. But here with our laner, giving it to Molo, and Molo is just too good for David Luiz, which you would not expect. And Cavani, he is just brilliant in the air. He's a top class finisher actually. Comparing him to Manes, I feel Manes has different traits that are better than Cavani, like his pace, skill, but Cavani's all round power, finishing, all of that kind of stuff is better than Manes. So at the end of the day, with it being FIFA, they're around even though there's like 10 ratings difference between them. So, but Fanny, has the ball, and Rodriguez, I do a nice piece of skill, but unfortunately, I tried to skill again in a not the best area in the world. I probably should have waited till I was further up the field to try to skill, but here he does a lovely through ball to Fernando Torres, and I go for the circle tackle, which doesn't work out too well at the end of the day. It gets awarded a penalty. I watched the replay back because I couldn't believe it to begin with, but then I looked at it and I was kind of like, yeah. So penalties again. On FIFA, I seem to be getting a lot of penalties for me on this game, but I never seem to take them. But here, Podolski, or this player here, as in the person actually holding the controller, has actually taken the penalty. And when watching replays, penalties are pretty cool. So if you just skip them, if you watch the penalties, they're pretty nice to watch. But yeah, but I'm still sticking with my 4-3-3 side, as I want to kind of get used to different formations. I don't want to use like the 4-1-2-1-2 or the 3-5-2. I want to try different ones out. So at the moment I'm using this one. I'm going to stick with it. I feel I can win the Gold Cup with it. I've just got to see how it goes. But here I'm being a tiny bit defensive, I guess. But I do a lovely, square lob ball to Fanny. Then Rodriguez on the ball. And I'm just holding up here, just waiting for options. But unfortunately, I don't give it in time. And I've sent Fanny down that side to space opens. But luckily, I anticipate the run. And here I do a lovely chip, but the keeper does a good save. And you're probably thinking, why is he put a chance in? But that's because there's a corner, and Cavani takes the corner. And like I've said, corners in this game, crosses, it's very effective. Like, you just got to choose the right ones, because with me, I wouldn't say I dump it into the box a lot. I just choose the right balls to cross. So it seems like I cross more than I actually do, but I will say I do cross more than most people. But Ashley Cole is on the ball into Eto. Ericsson, just good with passing, nothing really else. Fernando Torres, I thought he was going to coincide, but here I just do terrible. And
retard alert!
That was a bit of rubbish there. My player getting tripped up by the goalkeeper. Sorry about that. That's my chair. I think that's the second time that's happened, but oh well. It was just poor defending by me. I will hold my hand up. I could have got a last ditch tackle. Only if my keeper didn't trip up my defender. But here into extra time, it's very, very tense at this moment in time, but here my player doesn't really lock on, gets the goal kick, a bit of bad luck towards me, you could say, but here Eto v Nkulu, and that's why Nkulu isn't that good, because he's 5'11", and a pretty nice goal from Fernando Torres. I have to be honest, it was a solid goal. I won't take anything away from him. It was a little bit slow, perhaps. That's the only thing I will take away from it, actually, because I have to say something. But I think it was just placed well. Into the side net. Good goal. And that is how the game finishes. And we are back in the third round. No, not... Well, technically it's the first... Yeah, it's the first round. I'm thinking fourth tier. But as you can see, I probably deserve to win that actually. But it goes against you sometimes. But here he's got a mixture of pretty good players. Apart from Alaba, I noticed his defenders were pretty slow and of a small height. So yeah, you can understand the type of goals that are going to be scored. And I'm probably going to name the title of this video something similar. And I'm losing my voice slightly. But Botropa gets enough in. I accidentally pressed square to slide tackle. Well, it isn't my fault, I guess. But it hits the crossbar and very close. But Moutinho, I can understand why he goes for so cheap. Just because he's weak. His shooting isn't that good. He isn't great at defending. He's just decent on the ball and decent with passing, which is not much really on this game. I find Verratti better, to be honest, because he has better attributes that Moutinho does. So Moutinho ain't that great, but here he's actually doing some brilliant work. I do a ball roll, but he gets the tackle in. I'm just holding up the ball. I give it in. I go for the cross. And then Menez gets the header to make it 1-1. That's no 2-0 to me. I do apologise. But here, Moutinho, I must do the roulette. I do. I get inside, but he does a lovely last-ditch tackle to get away with it. And then Kalu is on the ball. And then 94 pace PSV player, I do believe, so there's no catching him. Matuidi did come close, however. But Drogba gets the headed goal. And from it looked like a good chance of me scoring, he ended up scoring. So just shows how it can change. And from kickoff, get the ball, gives it back to the keeper, gives it to Mariano, and I do a horrific mistake, but luckily I just get it cleared. And sorry if you can hear that, it's a bit loud. And Menez does the dummy, and the music is now playing, and I do a lovely piece of skill here, another piece of skill here, and do a lovely finish. Not the greatest skill goal in the world, but skill goal nevertheless. So it's 3-1, it's looking pretty good for me at this moment in time. But we've got to see what happens, get to the end of the game. But as we're getting nearing close to the end of the video, if you are enjoying it, please hit like and say why in comments below. And same with dislike. Well, actually not same with dislikes because them trolls. But if you want to see more, subscribe. Because I sense I'm just going to loop you over to make it 4-1, which was a lovely goal from Lucas actually. I forgot I scored a fourth in this game, which actually makes the game sealed, which means I go into the second round, well, the quarterfinals of the Championship Shield. It's been Woody Mark and I'm out. See you guys.